nightmare. Take a look at this report. When you pay close attention to this report, you find something very, very interesting, and also at the same time something that will perhaps shock you. Now, in the year of 2001, Iran and Russia, they signed an agreement, a defense military agreement. 20 years later, they have signed, now according to a report from defense.com, July 1st, they signed a new agreement. Under this new agreements, they are going to be landing more air defense system, missiles, radar, and S-400, which means a nightmare for the Zionist regime. Let's go with this report frame by frame so you know what I'm talking about. So, a bold decision from Putin dares Biden with big Iran move. This cargo plane that has landed recently in Tehran, this one, was actually banned. Okay, the American government, Joe Biden, they have put a sanction on this cargo ban, and this cargo, its name is Aviacon Zitotrans. When this ban was in place, no country wanted this cargo plane to land on their in their country, in the territory, simply because they would be facing sanction from United States. Tehran, or Iran, in other words, is the only country that allowed this kind of cargo plane to land that is under sanction from US. Now, this is obviously a bold move from Tehran, but it also sends a signal to the Zionist state that Tehran is readying its preparation, its military, its air defense system, its missile system, in order to attack Israel at the time it will choose. So Russia's cargo plane from Moscow lands in Tehran, and you can see the flight path on the screen that I'm sharing with you right now. This is where it came from, and this is where it landed, all the way from Russia to Tehran to Iran. And this is sending a very clear signal to the region that Iran is not backing down. Instead, it is preparing its attack. It is upping its preparation in order to attack the Zionist state of Israel. Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin has challenged the US with this move by sending Iran this Aviacon Zitotrans cargo arm supply plane. This is not any ordinary plane. This is a plane that brings in a lot of ammunition and a lot of, if they need to even transport military personnel, they can do so with just this one plane. So cargo plane belonging to Russian company Aviacon Zitotrans landed in Tehran. Again, you can clearly see the plane. It looks pretty gigantic, pretty big. It can hold a lot of ammo. It can fly with the utmost comfort in the sky. Aviacon Zitotrans airline has been sanctioned by the US for transporting arms, and the reason why US sanctioned this particular cargo plane is because it was transporting arms to Ukraine, to the Russian forces there, and so obviously that's not what United States they want, and therefore they put this plane under sanction. And we also know so many other details that with all of this sanction, even coming from the Western countries like European countries, it has all failed. In fact, it is now backfiring to the West and their foreign policy, how it deals with especially a country like Iran or even Palestine, because had they not sanctioned Russian cargo plane the way they did with this Aviacon Zitotrans, perhaps Russia would not have used it. Right now, for Russia, it is time to pay back these Western countries. And we know that right now, according to claims, Iranian experts, Russia has transported military supplies, and therefore making this whole situation very, very dangerous. So not only that this plane has landed, but according to Iranian experts, Russia has transported military supplies. The supplies from Russian comes amid growing fear of mega revenge strike by Iran. A lot of people are saying that the strike could not come. Some reports suggest that Iran is now preparing to target soft targets of Israel. Means they might include, the Ministry of Israel, the extremist element of it, that Iran will target them. And it makes sense because if you take a look at the situation right now, the Israeli ministers, they're not traveling outside Israel for a very, very long time. It is just Netanyahu, that's it. Not a single from his ministry, they are traveling outside of Israel. So rather than launching a swift attack, this is what experts are thinking, a swift attack on Israel after Ismail Haniyeh's killing, as we have seen, they are now preparing for a full-scale war. Iran is preparing for a full-scale war, and they have concentrated their military on preparing its weapons for a possible full-blown conflict. If this happens, obviously, it is in itself a headache, a nightmare for the Zionists. But then when it will actually happen, and it can happen because Iran has its proxies, it has its claws close to Israel, and it can choose any time to strike Israel. Unlike Israel, who cannot do anything to Iran, for them to do anything, they need to fly all the way from Israel and Jordan and Saudi Arabia, and then they will reach Iran. By the time they reach Iran, the fuel will be finished. They will have to refuel in the air. So that will take a lot of effort and manpower. So reports earlier this month also indicated that Russia is helping Iran in its mission. This report was published back in the month of, this month, August 3rd. And on August 3rd, they said that Aksar AZ report said, this is from a Russian media, that Russian military planes landed in Iran one after the other. So when we talk about military plane, this is what it looks like. Fighter jets, one after another. So they were like not just the S-400 or S-300 system, radar system, but also looks like, according to Russian media, fighter jets also landed in Tehran, in Iran. And this is not all. Iran has also reportedly deployed Russia's most powerful jamming system, which is the anti-fighter jet or anti-aircraft jamming system, and that is the S-400. That is the missile defense system, and also communication system, and its name is called Nurmansk BN at strategically important locations. So again, Iran is covering its entire territory with the Russian defense system. And again, this is going to be a huge blow to Israel, to the Zionists. The latest arrival of a Aviacon Zitotrans plane could also be part of the same mission. And looks like they're going to be actually doing this, or they have already probably done this new agreement, military agreement between Russia and Iran. Iran has sent SYED drones to Israel to help Russia with Ukraine. So Russia's sanctioned airline Aviacon Zitotrans, JSC Aviacon Zitotrans, is a private cargo airline based in Yekaterinburg, Russia. So again, you can find more details about this. So it started its operation in 1995 and specializes in air transportation of heavy and outsized high-value dangerous goods, aerospace equipment, sea containers, humanitarian, government, military, live cargo on IL-76TD worldwide. So again, the list goes on and on and on what they can transport on this plane. And can they even transport nuclear weapon? I don't know. Its main base is called Sovo International Airport in Russia's Yekaterinburg. In March of 2013, it implemented a project to transport a 46-ton generator rotor of the Nizhnevertovsk power plant on an IL-760D aircraft to Busan, South Korea. So this is a heavy-duty cargo plane, military cargo plane. This transportation is considered a world record for the transportation of single cargo on an airplane of this type. And obviously, you know, this is something groundbreaking. On January 26, 2023, due to Russian invasion of Ukraine, the airline was included in the U.S. sanctions list against PMC Wagner, as I said, because it is so effective in transporting those weapons that U.S. was that time on January 26th. They pinpointed this particular cargo plane, and it shows the significance of this development, that this cargo plane is now landing in Tehran. And we know that US's military, they're coming under constant attack by Iraqi militia forces. Would this weapon eventually go to this militia, Shia militia? Of course. Of course. So it is not only a nightmare, this is a disaster for the Zionists and also for the United States. Because now Iran will be supplying all of these weapons coming from Russia through this cargo plane to who? To these proxies, to Hezbollah, to the Iraqi militia, to whoever they want. The airline carried out cargo transportation for enterprise of the Russian defense complex that were sanctioned. So again, a middle finger to Biden administration from Vladimir Putin. In addition, Aviacon Cytotrans transported military equipment such as missiles, warheads, and helicopter parts around the world, sending military equipment to Venezuela, Africa, and other countries. I mean, all of these countries, U.S. banned them for some political reason or for economic reason. U.S. they don't like countries like Cuba, Venezuela. They don't have good relationship with them, and this is exactly where this cargo plane is going with all its shipment. Earlier on October 19, 2022, the company was included in the sanctions list of Ukraine. Again, it is also a nightmare for Ukrainian government, Zelensky, another Zionist. So overall, if you think about this, this is a huge blow to the Zionists and a huge help for Tehran, for Iran. Would this help them to, plan for a full-blown war against Israel? Of course, but at the same time, there are some reports that suggest that Iran is building nuclear weapon and they're very close to it. So once they have that weapon, that bomb, it is possible that they will go to war with Israel. Not a nuclear war, obviously not. Every country will try their best to avoid it, but maybe using conventional, warheads, weapons, and all that. When Israel will think to retaliate against Iran, they will have to be very, very careful and calculated once Iran has that nuclear weapon. And this is why it is important for Iran, and this is how their military is seeing the importance of the nuclear weapon, in case Israel goes, all in with this war. Some comments here hello from Denmark, Semi. Thank you guys. Semi, Josephine, Ramos, thank you guys for your comments. If you have any more, Christina, Kalia, Syed, Polly, thank you. Kay, really appreciate your comments. If you have any more, leave a comment in the comment section below. See you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.